All right, Garrett Blevins here with Form Assessment Saturday, number 11. Again, if you want to have your form reviewed, post a video at guidedprogramming.boards.net. When you go there, you'll come to the introductory page, and there will be a section called FAS, and that's where you're going to post for Form Assessment Saturday. I want the videos to be heavier lifts, something closer, 90% or above if possible. And also, if you can film not super far away, not super close, kind of get your whole body into the picture and have a stationary camera, that is helpful. So I'm going to hop right into the form videos. All right. Hi, how are you? I am doing okay. A lot of stuff to do, but no complaints. I appreciate that you appreciate the work. Deadlift at 90%. I have issues with tight hamstrings, trying to fix that with RDLs as well as stretches. My back rounds even more when it's 100%. It's because my hamstrings form issue. Okay, so we got some rounding. Let's check out, see what we got going on here. All right, so far as you're coming back into position, things look pretty good. So I think I don't think this is a hamstring tightness issue at all. I think basically to get to this position doesn't require a ton of hamstring mobility. If you were doing RDLs and you were having trouble, the way you deal with tight hamstrings is you bend your knees. And I'm not saying you should stretch those or work on that, but the hamstrings are not causing the rounding in your back. What's causing the rounding in your back is either muscle weakness, you're just not strong enough in your mid-back, or you're not getting tight enough, or a combination of the two. I have found that it's usually bracing issues, that people don't know what proper bracing feels like. However, one of the things I noticed for you is that you've got, your back, your belt is flat against your back on both sides. And as you started pulling, you just started rounding in through the mid-back. I don't think you're getting tight enough off the floor. Probably it's more of a cueing for that. So what I want you to do is I want you to practice, especially in your warm-ups. I want you to, as you just rock back against the weight, when you have just like 100 pounds or something on there, I want to see that weight actually start to leave the floor with you just leaning back against it. I also want you to start strengthening your mid-back with pendulum rows. So let me I always forget how to spell pendulum, how many E's and how many A's. All right, so we got how to pendulum row, performing pendulum. See if this how-to video is any good. Oh, look, we're monetizing their stream as we speak. They should be real happy for us as we watch their ads. So maybe not this video if you don't want to watch the ads again. But also, one of the things that I do, I haven't recommended a video. Oh, shirtless man definitely must be a really good video on pendulum rows. See if this guy does it okay. Okay. Yeah, you could have more back English than this. You can have a little bit as long as you're hinging at the hips. I'm fine with this really bent over position. He's got a little bit of rounding going on there, but he's also rowing from a weird spot. You don't have to make it this strict. I do not advise this video. It's not wrong to do it that way, but you can pull the bar not quite to your chest, but a little bit in further towards your belly button. You can have a little bit of back English. I believe, yeah, pendulum. I always add an E into the pendulum rows. I pendulum. But anyways, long story short is I want you to do some barbell rows, pendulum rows where you're really like flat, vertical, horizontal rather, to the ground is a good way to build that mid-back strength. If you do things where your torso angle is more elevated, more upright, you're going to hit more of your upper back. But really, the issue is here. And repetition work with the deadlift, rowing movements that build up your lats are going to be the best things that you can do to strengthen that movement. But beyond that, again, you have to get tight. One of the ways that you can work on that is in your warm-ups. When you pull back into position, the bar actually starts to leave the floor because you're pulling so much slack out of the bar, it's more than the bar actually weighs. And so that's something I want you to work on, those things really, as we watch through, because that rounding in your back, that's where it's coming from. And as far as 90%, I don't think that's 90%. It moves really fast. So I think it's probably more of a cueing issue, but there's no reason not to build your back. So do more rowing movements, probably 2 to 3 times a week, with 1 to 3 exercises. Do it after maybe one on a bench day or things where you're doing mostly upper body work already, getting some pulling work in, or rowing work, I mean. And then on your deadlift day, do some rowing work as back off. But that's what's going on there. All right. So do what you said, deloaded, and I've been working on technique, help with your tips. It's now 20 pounds heavier and looks a lot better with no more good mornings. All right, yeah, let's take a look here. Oh, that does look a lot better. Yeah, you improved your lower back position a ton, because I remember you were really starting to crane over even as you descended. I would still like to see you mobilize your mid back a little bit more, but yeah, this looks like night and day from where you're at. This will be much safer. I still think though that you can work on getting that air deep down inside. I see a lot of your breathing up here and not as much down here. I also think you might be able to wear your belt just a little bit higher. But yeah, those look so much better. You're definitely on the right track, but continue mobilizing that mid back and make sure that you can really stand up straight. Even when you're here coming out with the weight, I like how this looks pretty good. So just look at your back, slight swoop going on there, but this looks pretty darn good. A lot of your breath is coming in up here though, and that can lead to some loss of tightness right here where the belt is. So as you come down, let's just look at how you come up. Notice how your back angle is now just a little bit more forward, nowhere near where it was in the first video. So again, tremendous progress. But don't let your back get so much rounded in this position. Really try to hold your back a little bit more, getting to this position in between reps where the bar is actually centered over midfoot. When you're here, the bar is much more over your toes. And so I want you to get back a little bit more in between each rep, because you start to get more and more forward and craned over. However, whatever you're doing right now, based on the tips I gave you, has been working really well. And you're not having that weight come as far forward on you. And you correct on that 5th rep away from the 4th rep, got a little in front of you, and you correct well on the 5th rep. So keep up the work you're doing. That looked really good. I'm very encouraged from what I'm seeing there. And that is all the videos we have for today. Only 2 people posting. I know the rules are a little restrictive where I want heavier weights, and I don't want people just posting in here lighter sets, because it's really hard to give a good assessment of what's going on. But again, if you want to post and you've got some heavy lifts recorded you want to have assessed, go to guidedprogramming.boards.net and go to the FAS section. I hope wherever you all are at out there, you're doing well. Blessings.